How y'all doing? I am here with Dr. Science, and I've been informed that you better not describe him in any way other than Matchy or something. And I don't know, but um, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Brushing up on my science right about now, but I'm doing pretty good
Good,
otherwise.
good, good.
The media's kind of trashing me right about now because I'm a dipshit dumbass who thinks I know everything, but I am Dr. Science, so I'm perfect.
In the loosest sense of the word. Uh, uh, Larry Burns from Canada is here, and some guy named Nicky Young. Apparently, Fredo is here.
Who's this Nicky Young
I
guy?
don't
He's
know.
an imposter.
Anyway, how you doing, Matt, or Elmer, as the case may be?
Times are odd.
I see your earbuds are not working this evening.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Fuck. What difference does it make? I don't understand it. Can you hear me now?
Well, if you
Same.
have a microphone,
I don't.
first of all, the phone's too far away from you, apparently. But if
No.
if you have a
Oh, is that what it is? You can
microphone
hear me now? Can you hear me now?
on them headphones, then you'll be fine.
I
You
don't.
know, none of this would be a problem if you just had. Yeah, Alan McMillan is here.
Dog ate my
Anyone who
charging
wants to
cord
come on, just
for
click the
my
link.
wireless.
Maybe Max. Okay. Well, uh,
Yeah, Max
So
could
that
give us his
another
perspective from
day,
across the
a
pond.
lot more.
that pair of headphones is now kaput since I have no charging cord for it, and I don't believe I can get another one because knockoff Chinese pair of wireless headphones. So that settles that hash.
If you would just buy a fucking laptop, you wouldn't have this problem. Max, not so much. We're mad at Max now. He made fun of us. Jolene is here. Hello, Jolene. I don't understand why you're still in the 1980s when it comes to technology. With the money you have, I mean, it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Shit costs money, dude.
You know what I mean? You got money. You got money. You're a millionaire.
Spent 25 grand on a damn shitter, and you worried about what a phone costs or a laptop costs?
I didn't spend it on that.
Oh, yes, you did, one way or the other.
Well, it wasn't my idea, put it that way.
Well, yeah. You didn't write the check.
If you It's Cyber Monday. You probably get one for $100. That's all you really need.
Right.
Or at least a decent pair of earbuds where we could hear you. Why does he always look like he's just wandering through somebody's house?
I'm looking
He's
That's
going to
what
end up getting run down and shot with a shotgun is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
got an
right.
idea.
Well, you know,
I
more
got an
Ahmaud
idea.
Aubrey situation going on here.
I'm gonna make a megaphone. Okay. that I
Yeah,
can
but
speak
they won't
through.
have
Megaphone.
He spends $1,000 on plastic drums, but won't buy a fucking computer.
Resort to a water bottle. I guess that'll be his megaphone. Cut the bottom out, talk through the bottom, and force it through the small
That's his
hole.
bathroom. That's his bathroom. Matt definitely looks like a homeless man. Yes, he does, Alan. Yes, he does.
He
With
basically is.
his lime green that you can see from space Elmer Fudd hat on there.
Does everybody hear me
And his
better now? Is that pretty good?
headphones up over his
Is this pretty good? You could hear it now.
Little louder, but in a barrel.
Please stop doing that.
How about that way? Was that better?
Yeah. My God.
All right, we got
This
the
is why we
problem
have 8
solved.
people, Nick.
Problem solved here. Look what a little ingenuity gets you.
I think Matt should have been Dr. Science.
Make me fucking dizzy too. I think.
Yeah, he probably learned that on Romper Room or something. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, anyone who wants to come on tonight? We need a conversation.
I get a
other than
tin
this,
can
'cause
and
this-
put it up to the tin can with string between it. Put it up to next to the phone. Then we'll be like talking on the phone.
Yeah, attach a string to the phone. Attach a string to the tin can to the phone. I'm sure that'll work.
Right. Well, you got an iPhone or Android? Does it have a port for that string?
Up. No, you just glue it to the screen, or staple it to the screen. There, Matt. It'll be fine. Be like staple. Be like an antenna.
He's looking for a stapler right about now, and a can and a string.
Jesus Christ! Only in America. Oh, yeah.
Only in California. They all
right.
throw it off one way or the other.
Jesus. We get Anita on here. She's good. We would love to have you on. Mean to us. We don't like him too much. I don't know how well the headphones are working over the Elmer Fudd hat.
Is it any better if I just use the phone? And
aren't you using a phone?
I mean, not use headphones, just listen
That
to the phone.
Sounded a little better.
Yeah, you're a little bit louder.
Yeah, that seems somewhat better. I don't know how your family's gonna like it, but
Well, they can't hear me. They're in the house. They're going to get a. There's a. They're gonna have a. You know what a chipotle is? The the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, they have some kind of fundraiser
Chipotle, yes.
for something at the school. You buy something, they donate half of it to whatever their fundraiser is. So they're gonna go there and get us something for dinner. And I don't like Chipotle though, but what the hell?
That or meatloaf, man.
No,
Pick your poison.
nah, not meatloaf.
Okay. I really haven't read anything today in the news. I spent the day relatively happy. How about you, Nick? Are you
Well, they got the Ghislaine Maxwell case going on. They're all silent about that one. Uh, Juicy Smollett they're kind of silent about that for now.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
just started today. There's
Yeah.
nothing happening yet, really.
yeah, and other than that, it's been
Sure.
uh, Omicron over Omicron squared to the 100th power, and everybody run for your lives when the South African doctor says, well, you know, the symptoms have been pretty damn mild, so I don't know what the big deal is. But all of a sudden now, Joe Biden puts on his should be xenophobic or racist or whatever the shit you want to call it, uh, travel restrictions on Africa and 8 goddamn places down there. Because when Trump did it, boy, that he was just lambasting and called every name in the book. But it's okay now because Joe did it. And he supposedly wants to close the borders again like
Mm-hmm.
Trump did. Bring that back. But now, this is the shit part about that one. But they have to wait for Mexican government. They have to wait for their rules and whether they're going to allow it. How the fuck does that work? Close the goddamn border. Don't let the motherfuckers in. That way, they're stuck in Mexico. You don't have to pass any goddamn rule, any law.
Yeah.
Shit.
Why are we worried about their rules? Fuck them. I've always said
Right.
if you want to stop illegal immigration, it's very simple. You just need like maybe a battalion of Marines and plenty of ammunition, and that shit will trickle down within the first 2 days, guaranteed. People will not come across that border for any fucking reason.
Yep. Make a few examples,
So,
they'll stop. Kind of like, all the, uh, well, you can't call it looting anymore. The borrowing going on in California, uh,
I
like
can.
borrowing and never return it. Now they killed some retired cop who was doing security, and they're all like, well, whatever. Too bad. Tough shit. They get to steal anyway. You start shooting these motherfuckers, it's gonna stop. Stop letting them back on the street too.
Well, did you see the mayor of San Francisco had a solution for it? They're not gonna allow, you know, they did that like flash mob in downtown. They all drive up to the store at the same time. they're not going to allow people to drive down the street and where the fancy shops are. You can't drive. Just walk far with that's all. I really don't.
Yeah, you just have to peacefully protest, then all of a sudden ransack the goddamn store, right? As long as you walked up to it. Don't drive up to it. That shit crazy. And then this new whoever this woman is in New York, all of a sudden lock it down. All of a sudden with the mandates because of this new
Yeah.
COVID variant that just strategically comes out
Yep.
that supposedly is affecting more of the kids than anybody else. All of a sudden that they're pushing kid vaccination mandates and shit. So yeah, that wasn't a fucking setup at all.
Yep.
It's not all coincidence. Well, it is
I
coincidence
don't know.
in a
Here's what
certain way.
I ain't doing any of it. I ain't doing any of it.
Nope.
I'm just going to live my life the way I see fit, and I don't give a shit about Joe Biden, Peppermint Patty, or anybody. Anita says, and stop the benefits and handouts. Well, yeah, that's a good way to get them out of the country, although I suspect you're going to need a few bullets for that also, because first they'll try to trash every city in your country and town and so forth before they realize that, you're not playing around. Stephen Lang is here. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? You want to come on? Stephen Lang is also from England. If you want to come on, Stephen, click on this link and follow all the directions. Stephen does his own show. I think he's with Motive. It's out of England. There's a couple of guys doing it. I can't remember the other guy's name. He's pretty well known on Facebook. Holy crap. Davey, is it Davey? I don't remember his freaking name. I'm sorry. But anyway, they have the same problems there. They're only worse. And they got apparently, all that cool talk. We thought Boris Johnson was really cool when he was mayor of London. Was a completely fake, and
It was a facade.
he is now part of the mainstream problem. Yep.
Check. Is this loud?
What a moron.
Is that better?
And you know what?
Is that better? No. Is it okay?
No. A little. Yeah, it's okay. The whole country of England should get together and buy that guy a comb or something, or like some what do they call that, Aquanet or something. Keep his hair in one place. Restoration rate. Oh, there is a Motivate. I don't know. Nothing. Restoration Radio International. Thank you, Anita. Hopefully he'll come on. He's actually a good guy. There's a lot of good people in England. There are. There really are. They're sick of this shit too. Just like every other country. Crooked politicians running around everywhere. None of them are worth a damn. Some Democrat in Kansas with the House of Representatives he's 21 years old. He's been arrested twice for being violent, and now they're calling for his removal. What do you expect when you put a 21-year-old in office? It's either going to be somebody like AOC who's stupid as a stick or some violent moron. Oh, guess what? Democrat. I thought Boris Johnson was prime minister. He is. He used to be the mayor of London, where he
Turner
was
kinda
against a lot of
reminds
stuff
me,
that now he's allowing to happen.
if he combed his hair, he kind of
Go
reminds
ahead,
me
Matt.
of Captain Kirk without a mustache.
Captain Kangaroo. Yeah.
If he combed his hair and shaved the mustache
Close
off, he
the
looked like
freaking
Captain
border would
Kangaroo.
help. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, everybody in the Western world closing their borders would be a good idea. It's time for this shit to stop, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, but it's not, and it's not going to, and they're all gonna eventually overrun us. When I start seeing them out here, I'm just gonna announce to the world that whatever we're gonna do, it's time now because there's no more hope.
Yep. And old Peppermint Patty says, when questioned, well, why is there a mandate for people legally traveling here to have the shot or be tested, negative for COVID? But thousands and thousands can just ransack the border and they ship them all across the goddamn United States. No requirements whatsoever. Well, she says, well, they don't intend to stay very long. How fucking stupid is that comment? Come on. Which one will willfully just fucking leave? Name one. Peppermint Patty. You dumbass.
Benefits and then declare martial law and basically not allow them to trash the place. Go back to the old rules like it used to be, where you shoot looters and all that shit, which would be good anyway. That would stop a lot of this crap that's going on the last couple of weeks or whatever it's been. And most of them would self-deport and then close the border completely. You don't even need a wall. Just use the military. Fucking put the National Guard or something on the border and give them orders that if they cross a certain line, it's time for them to go.
Man, they don't even let
We'll ever do
the
that. And the UN
border. Yeah, they don't even let
and
ICE
the
do their damn job.
yeah, and the United Nations would say we're all being very mean to the poor migrants that are coming here to basically take over our cities and take our money.
Fucking minefield along the border, about 2 miles wide, would do the fucking trick.
Right. Shitload of crocodiles or alligators in the Rio Grande over there would do a little bit of good. If they make it through that, then you get landmines.
Actually, the minefield, that'd be cheaper probably. That would be cheaper.
Probably.
You see a few, get blown up. Yeah. We need to have a moratorium on illegal immigration period until we figure out just exactly what the hell we already got in this country. And I want everybody to remember something. The friendly people have been very quiet. Very quiet. Why is that? That we have a weak president, or a non-existent one, depending on your opinion. Mine's the second one. We have people in the government that are terrified to say anything bad about these people. Twitter just got took over by a Muslim, so I'm sure that's going to go well. He actually
Yeah, I
came out
didn't
and
read the
said something
story
to
on
the
that.
effect of, why should I differentiate between racists and white people?
Yeah, did they say why the guy
It's
from
connecting
Twitter
it with the Ghislaine Maxwell
stepped
case.
down?
No, no. No, but my guess is that he sees something coming from somewhere. Who knows what it is? Um, the new guy
Well, I know
actually came
Trump's
out and
suing the shit
said,
out of all these
"Why
fuckers.
should I differentiate?" Uh, the new guy came out in 2010 and said, "Why should I differentiate between racists and white people?" Simply because they don't differentiate between Muslims and radical Muslims. Because you all read the same book and we don't. That's why. You all believe in the same book and we don't.
Yeah, like Biden would say, even poor people are as bright
Jerry, do
as
you
white kids,
think she has
or
been
poor
told
kids
to
are as
keep
bright
her
as white
mouth
kids.
shut? I'm assuming he's talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, I think that Ghislaine Maxwell is smart enough to know that if she opens her fucking mouth, there is nowhere she will hide. That's what I think. Plus, the rumor is, and I don't know how true this is, that the prosecutor is the daughter of James Comey, the former FBI director
That
under
is correct.
Obama and
It's all
so
liberals.
forth.
The judge, prosecutors, they all they're, they all have
I
ties to
don't
the
know
Clintons.
if that's
I don't know if it's
actually true. I saw it on Facebook. This is why I tell you.
No, I read it on the news. It is. It was Fox. Liberal media won't tell you that, but it can be researched. You know,
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that message your Stephen Lang guy said you got to
Wow. Well, if that is
officiate a
true, then
calf?
I think that old Ghislaine ain't he ain't long for the world as well. I mean, doesn't deserve a lot of fucking mercy, frankly. Got a what? I don't know problems. I personally don't care about her. Whether I think she deserves to spend the rest of her life in prison. I think Jesse Smollett deserves to spend at least 10 years in prison. I doubt if he'll get a day after what he pulled.
and he's pretty goddamn arrogant to still say he's just totally innocent. I mean, this fool here, and why it took all this time? Shit, 3 years to take this fool to court. Jeez.
We seem to be having. Is everybody back now? There goes Nick again.
I'm here.
I think
Okay.
it's because they got his didn't his Kim Fox, the DA there, didn't she get voted out of office or something? So now they can proceed with the case or something.
No,
I
she
really don't know.
got taken off completely. I don't know if she got voted out, but I think she was actually banned from having anything to do with the case. They put a special prosecutor in charge.
Right. She didn't give any reason why she dropped all charges against him. 16 charges. Well, the special prosecutor comes in and gets a what they call that, a grand jury, and now they're prosecuting him for 6 charges.
Well, I think 10 years is a good sentence for him, but I'm sorry, I don't see him doing anything near that, if at all. I don't see where Ghislaine Maxwell has any kind of leverage. If she makes a deal, she's going to have to talk and name names, which will probably either get her killed or she'll just name a bunch of nobodies that nobody cares about. People watching this case and hanging on to this case and saying everything else is a distraction. They're not going to get Bill Clinton in jail. They're not going to get what's his name, the guy from England, one that was married to somebody. I don't even fucking remember who. They're none of these big time people that everybody says is a pedophile is going to get put in jail over this. That girl will die of so-called food poisoning before that happens.
Yeah, suicide by hanging in jail if she goes to jail.
Oh, I actually believe he killed himself. I do. I think that the people, all the people out there thinking that the CIA did it or Clinton. I think he knew what was on the agenda for him, and it was over. Yeah, why is that so hard to believe? The guy was going to spend the rest of his life in prison. The end. It was predetermined.
The only thing that is kind of weird to me about it is it happened so fast. It's the only thing that bugs me about
yeah.
it. Really.
Well, listen. Here's one thing for sure. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Maybe you're wrong. None of us will ever know for sure. I don't care how much research you do on YouTube. You don't really know because nobody was there to watch it. I admit a lot of weird things have happened in there, like the video not working, or the guards going to sleep, or not showing up to work. I agree. That's coincidences like that happen all the time, and nothing ever happens of it. That's why no one ever talks about them. But if you're in Rikers Island, I understand that being in Rikers Island is like being in a madhouse. So a lot of shit happening.
Yeah, but I'm saying a
Possibly
guy
they
that
should have.
money might have tried to weasel his way out before he took the ultimate step. It just seemed kind of rapid to me. I don't know.
Well, anything's possible. I personally believe he killed himself. Others don't. Others swear up and down they know. Those are the ones I stay away from because they don't. Um, and in the end, Jeffrey Epstein was a scumbag piece of shit. So who gives a fuck? Seriously, who cares? He's dead. I'm happy about this. I mean, of all the people who have died in the world, I have the least amount of problem with whether he killed himself or he was murdered. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really cares. The problem is
No.
whether he did or not, it just seems one way or the other. Either he not wanting to be murdered or a cover up. It's one or the other. Who knows? Because, like you said, there's no video evidence that the guards fell asleep on the job. All this crazy shit. So who knows? Somebody was going to die out of it, regardless of how it all worked out.
I'm actually surprised Ghislaine Maxwell's still alive. I am. I really didn't think she'd make the trial, but here she is.
Yeah. Well,
And my
she had
thought
to go in
is,
hiding. I mean, they used like body doubles and shit for her to be able to stay hidden like she did. I mean,
yeah,
she just disappeared and
yep.
somehow by happenstance got found out. You know, somebody saw her
Yeah,
and said,
somebody,
"There she is."
yeah, somebody saw her and gave her up. Probably one of her friends or somebody, and the FBI paid them because you never hear about them details. And the FBI came in and they were big heroes as usual,
All
just like
right.
most cops. Most cops, the guy, you could go to a cop after a crime, tell them the exact everything about it, and they're going to go out there and say, "We caught him."
Correct.
They're going to
Use all
beg for
your
fucking
evidence.
help from the public. Yeah, they're going to beg for help from the fucking public. And when they get it and they get all the details of this, that, and the other, where this one is, they go get them and we got them. Really?
Yeah.
You got
Hard
'em.
work and
Okay. That's
dedication
what
solved this case. When one
yeah.
person was the guy that actually gave all the or girl that actually gave all the information that they eventually drug out long enough to make it look like they were working hard and investigating 24/7 nonstop.
Well, when you start looking at the crime statistics, most murders don't get solved. The high end ones usually do simply because they're high end ones. Um, some serial killer ones get solved, but it takes years, and it literally ruins the health of people. And they can't get a lot of help from the public because nobody else knows who the fuck it is either. And you got people pissed off at their husband. They say, "I think he was a serial killer. I got to waste time on that shit." But most murders and they don't even bother with robberies unless they get lucky. Um, you know,
You know,
somebody steals your car, they're like, "Well, we'll take the report, but we're not gonna go look for it." So, somebody finds it in the woods stripped, then,
Yeah,
"Oh, we found your car, but, sorry."
yeah.
well, it
Good luck with
seems like
insurance.
most serial killers just
Yeah.
get caught by the fact of repetition. You know what I mean?
Correct. Or they eventually
Yeah.
they got caught by something else non-related and they're in jail for a long damn time and they just start talking and find out they freaking
Yep.
killed 60 people and shit. You know,
Yeah.
maybe their conscience eventually gets to them. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that statistic. Only
It's the
17%
same thing.
of murders in Chicago get solved. 17%.
Yeah. Well,
It's a pretty good fucking
when
odds
they
of
have
getting away.
40, 50 when they have 40 or 50 or 60 people get killed or shot every single fucking weekend, that don't surprise me. There ain't enough cops on the force to do anything about that. Then, of course, you got the people who want to defund the police and don't want to help the police. So, these guys, they all get away with it.
Right.
Me personally, I am very leery of helping the police because then you get into a quagmire and you're doing their job. Think about this, people. The public does the police's job a lot. The police are supposed to go out there and question people and find criminals. They have all but said fuck shoplifting and fuck car stealing and fuck all that other shit. We're not going to even bother until we get lucky, or find out that, we were working on something and that was part of it or whatever. Um, but like murder, rape, all that kind of shit, they're all constantly asking for the public's help to do their job.
Yeah.
And
Anonymous
I
tip
don't blame
lines.
them for that. Yeah, I don't blame them for that. First of all, that's bullshit. There's no such thing as an anonymous tip line. They at
Correct.
least have caller ID. They can find out who the fuck you are. Plus,
Right.
if there's a reward, they're definitely going to know who you are because they're not going to write it out to anonymous person who told on this guy.
Well, here's what they claim, Jerry. They claim that they like I don't know. There's like this code or something that you have to just claim the money, and somehow this transaction happens to you. And I'm like, wait a minute. They still know who the fuck you are one way or the other. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Ain't nothing anonymous these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, if they don't have much, you can bet your ass is going to get subpoenaed to court to face whoever you turned in. And that should be
Correct.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. In the end, the cops will run roughshod over every single civil right, every single this, every single that to get what they want. It's just that simple. That's how the law works. And I don't necessarily blame them because there's a lot of people out there that don't say a fucking word. But,
Okay.
don't act like you're a fucking hero when you got tons of other people doing your job for you. And
Well,
when I
it's,
hear about it, some terrorist attack, regardless of who does what, and then I hear that, well, they were known to the FBI, they were known to the local police, they were known to this, they were known to that, and the cops then, like in Parkland, the sheriff's department did nothing. The kid's mother begged them to do something with him, and they wouldn't do anything. I have to tell you, that's not a proud moment for anybody.
well, did you guys hear about that story where the dude got his car stolen? And the cops really didn't give a fuck. But then he said there was a special needs kid in the back of it, and they were like all over it. They found it, and then they're like, "Where the fuck's the special needs kid?" And he was like, well, there really wasn't one. They're gonna fucking bust his balls because he falsified the fucking report."
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez. Probably arrest him and put him in jail for that. Fine him at least.
But think about it. That car may have been his only way of getting to work, getting anywhere, I mean, making his living, whatever, okay? And the cops don't care. And what's the first thing cop tells you? Don't take the law into your own hands, call us. So you do. I've actually looked at a cop and looked him in the face and said, You're useless as fucking usual. This guy has been doing this for months and you guys do nothing." I would go when I was managing buildings, say, "This guy's a drug dealer, this guy's a drug dealer. You need to come and do something about it." And it would take 3 months for them to fucking. One day I'd see somebody sitting outside the house that looked out of place, and it was like, "Oh well, finally," you know.
Yeah. It takes same around here, Jerry. It takes them months to catch a known goddamn drug dealer. Everybody knows it. The
Yep.
cops know it. But
Yep.
boy, they have to do all this
Yeah.
research to find. They nabbed a drug dealer that was passing, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of drugs and dealing. Well, no shit. Everybody knew it is going on for fucking 5 years. I mean,
Yep.
what didn't you catch him on? Everybody's been
Yep.
telling you about.
Oh, I could always tell when there was a drug dealer in the building because he would get 20 visitors a day. They would stay 2 minutes and leave. No one does that.
Correct.
Okay? No one does that. No one has that many people come to their house a day and leave after 2 minutes. Nobody. Okay?
Yeah, it's like these crackheads that used to live next door to me. I mean, certain times of the month, apparently they got their shipment. And all of a sudden, that day, it is non-stop, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. People don't even
Yeah.
fucking shut their cars off. It's not a visit. It's 2 minutes, done.
Yeah.
Bye. Strange cars, never
We had
seen there
one
before.
lady. One lady used to show up. We had like outside hallways. She used to show up on her like scooter and pull right up to his door. One Friday night, I saw that. I went down, picked the scooter up because I used to be able to do that shit. I just picked it up and put it under my arm. And when I got to the parking lot, I just dropped it. Walked back to my apartment.
There you go. I mean, these fools, they put more time and energy into breaking the law than doing some good shit. Let me tell you what I figured out they
Yeah.
were doing in my neighborhood. When this shit was going on, just prior to when this shit was going on, and I can only justify for my immediate neighborhood. I don't know where most of the people were coming from. People apparently they'd buy fireworks and save them and start popping fireworks, and I'd hear them from different locations, and then the dealing started.
Oh. Yeah.
We're alerting each other.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like, that's kind of ingenious right there. Who'd have thunk it but a criminal?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always figured, first of all, he's a drug dealer and they're customers. They know their customers. I know their customers. He knows he's a drug dealer. What the fuck are they going to do? Call the cops? What are they going
Right.
to do? Because they know what I'm going to do. I'm going to say she's a customer, he's a drug dealer. The end. Okay, it was like with illegal aliens when I had to get them out. I would just constantly fuck with them. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Call the cops? No.
No.
I wasn't violent with them. I wasn't violent with them. I wasn't threatening in any way, but I would find ways to fuck with these people until they left.
Well, Jerry, see,
And they
you have
would
perfect
in the middle of the
neighbor.
fucking night.
You get a
Yeah,
piece
you're
of
not
the
the only
action,
one to know.
is what you do.
No. Nope. Absolutely not. I hated these people just simply because they weren't supposed to be in our country and they were fucking up my building and wrecking the fucking peace and everything else. And mainly what I did was I just used the cops against them. When I saw them doing something illegal, I'd call the fucking cops and the cops would show up. They didn't like being around cops. I mean, it wasn't like the cops were going to take. I mean, I had one girl; she wasn't even allowed on the property, and when she came to the property, I called the cops. She tried to tell them she didn't speak English, which was bullshit, and I told them right in front of her. And also, what the fuck was? Oh, she had no idea what her address was, supposedly, because everybody that was her husband, everybody that she was living with was illegal, and she didn't want anybody to know. And they just let her go, but she never came back. You know, the worst part, the thing that pissed me off the most is when you were nice to these people, they would laugh at you behind your fucking back. And after a while, I said, "Well, I'm tired of that shit. So now we're going to see who's going to laugh last. At the very least, nothing's probably going to happen to them." Other than they're going to have to move the fuck out of the building I'm managing, and I got one less worry. I truly didn't give a fuck. They would send a girl, usually, if you had a woman apartment manager, they'd send a guy. If you said, like me, I was a guy, so they'd send a girl. She was all smiles and flirty with the big tits hanging out and the whole 9 yards. And next thing you know, you got 6 guys living in a fucking apartment. That's how they worked it. She would sign the lease, and then she, because it was a low end apartment building, it's not like they put it on her credit or anything. So what does she care? And she got paid to do it. I started telling people no illegal aliens are allowed. That's illegal. I said, report me.
Yes, it is illegal.
I don't
Illegal
care.
for them to be here. That's the illegal part
But
about it.
it's also illegal to not rent to them because they're illegal. And I knew that, but I didn't care. I says, you do what you want. But what I'm going to do is if I find out they are, and I will, I'm going to call ICE every day of my life until they come up here and take them away.
Let's harass the fuck out of them.
I'm going to tell them
Exactly.
exactly. And then that girl would leave and you'd never see her again. I wouldn't allow anyone to drink on the property outside the doors. because this one building, man, holy shit. I was there 3 weeks. I said, "Fuck this," and it was illegal to drink, outside on the property anyway. There was an ordinance against it, so they would come home on Fridays with their paychecks and their phone cards, and they'd send all their money to Western Union, but every one of them had a case of fucking beer, and they would get shit faced and this and that. I'd start calling the cops.
Yeah, eventually they'll get tired of it and move on to the next victim. That's what they do. They're
It took
they're
3
migrants as
weeks.
it is, kind of like
It
nomads.
took 3 weeks. It took 3 weeks, but nobody drank outside the doors on the property anymore, and I had a nice quiet building. I don't, what you do inside is your business. I got people busted for drugs. I got people busted for fucking vagrancy because they pass out on the property. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. I had to close the laundry room at night because they were dealing drugs out of it all night. And when
Damn.
I had three or four apartments with single women in it, and they were afraid to go out their fucking door. And no fucking building I'm managing is going to have that. I made the first thing I did when I got there. Every light in the building was out. It was pitch black at night, and I fixed all and replaced all the fucking lights so that it lit up like a Christmas tree. I one moron downstairs. He was such a fucking lowlife. He would steal the light bulbs out of the light for his apartment that he was getting electricity from the girl upstairs through an extension cord. Adam, with their 2-year-old daughter sleeping on the dirtiest fucking mattress you have ever seen in your goddamn life. I went in to clean that apartment out. I found his electric bill. He was in arrears for $1,600 fucking dollars. I don't know how the fuck you get in arrears to the electric company for $1,600 for a 370 square foot studio apartment, but he apparently did, and that's why he had the electrical cord. And I went up and told her, "You have two choices: get your electrical cord out of here by the end of the day, or I'm going to take it and cut it in 6 different places so it's useless." And he ain't going to have electric. Boy, was he pissed. And I laughed at him. I had his cousin towed away, literally. His cousin lived in a van out front. He used to get the hose out front and put his soap and right and take a shower in front of everybody every morning. And I noticed that his van that he lived in had an expired tag on it, and that's illegal. So I had it towed, and as he was being towed away, he was in the motherfucker looking out the back window, and I just busted out laughing. It was so fucking funny.
In his own jail. That's funny.
Yep. He didn't come back. But by the time I was done, my building in that neighborhood was the quietest. The cops were there the least amount of fucking times. You name it. Nobody got mugged. Nobody's car got broke into. None of that shit. It's a hard job though, because like everywhere I went, I had to carry a weapon because I literally had people that I believe wanted to kill me. I'd be walking the fucking dogs and there'd be like people slowing down as they drove past me. I've had people jump out of bushes at me. I've had every threat you can imagine I've had. And I didn't walk out of my door without it. Like if I was working, I have this green screwdriver. I think I bought it at a dollar store somewhere. It's about a foot long, foot and a half long, and I wouldn't walk out the door without that if I was working. If I was walking my dogs, I had a gun on me. and you hear the same stupid bullshit from different people. All people are like, "Fuck you! I'll fucking kill you." I said, "Dude, you got a choice: leave or I'm calling. Call them." And then they leave before the cops get there, and you're a racist, and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, because we had a mechanic next door at a shop, and people would come and sit in our hallways in the shade. And I'm like, dude, this ain't the fucking waiting room for them. Get the fuck out of here. People live here.
Some people's children never learn.
Fuck you. I ain't leaving. All right, I'll call the cops. Call them. And by the time the cops got there, they're gone. I'm like, dude, go over there and wait. This ain't your property. You've got nothing to say about it. And you're not going to be here one way or the other. Which would you prefer? I've had guys come in that I could look at them. I married this one guy, a black guy comes in. His girlfriend does all the talking. He ain't saying shit. So right there, I know something ain't right. I said, who's going to be living here? She said, me and him. I said, we're going to need both of your social security numbers so we can run checks. Well, my name's going to be on the lease. It doesn't matter. Whoever lives here has to have a check. And he got pissed. I walked out smiling, knowing that I probably saved somebody from something bad.
Yeah.
Now, Jerry, okay. Yeah, okay.
You can believe it or not. You didn't. Some guys are slappies. Okay. Some guys are slappies. They deal drugs and they're just slappies. That's you want to walk up and bitch slap them just because they're stupid. And then there's guys that are real live criminals. And I met a few of them. And you got that hit immediately. And you needed to be careful with these people. Simple as that. But with drug dealers, drug dealers aren't the problem. It's the customers. They'll steal you blind to get what they want. They don't care. The customers are the fucking problem. The drug dealer is the disease. The customers are the symptoms that are the drug dealer's a symptom. The customers are the disease. Because the disease is what's going to rob your tools, rob your car, rob whatever they can get their hands on, so that they can get what they want from the symptom, whatever.
Well, that was a little jumbled up analogy, but we got the gist of your preambulations there. I follow. I follow you.
Yeah. Okay. Stephen Tolliver is here. Anybody who wants to come on, just click on the link, please. That'll be fine. I wonder where Daryl is tonight.
Well,
somebody told him hello earlier. I haven't seen him comment or anything. I didn't see him come on.
Oh, I didn't either. Matt, it's not really helping when you try to pick the phone up and talk. All we hear is like noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the megaphone's not working. Or whatever.
Slow down, Mr. Obvious.
No. Listen, you got almost 2 whole days to go buy some earbuds that'll work the fuck, and then who knows? Maybe we'll be able to hear you. I don't know.
Steal a pair from one of your kids or your wife or something. They rob you blind all the time.
How hard is that?
Pay it forward, or in reverse. Take it.
All right, well, you guys are lucky then. You don't have to fucking listen to me.
Okay. That's not really the point, I don't think, but take it any way you want, I guess. Stephen is in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks and then going back to Montana for good. Well, good luck with the 20-foot snowdrifts and the wild fucking elk and buffalo that are going to probably attack you. You got no snakes to save you now, and they don't like snow anyway. Maybe you'll see a Yeti. Who knows?
Yeah, get Matt to go Bigfoot hunting with you.
Yeah, just get Matt. That'd be fine. All right, enough about my life. What else is going on that people want to talk about? Pays 200 grand for a shower but can't buy a laptop so we can hear him. Well, he paid 25 for a shower grand, which is just as mind-boggling. But he's not going to buy a laptop. I don't know why. I guess
buy some goddamn earphones tomorrow at the goddamn gas station. All right.
Well,
look,
therein lies your problem, right there. Maybe you should
actually they're pretty good.
Step up a little.
For my son, and he likes them. They're wireless. They're Bluetooth. He thinks they're pretty good. They're only like $20. I guess they work pretty good. We'll see.
Well, I was shocked today when I had to purchase some 40 schedule PVC pipes and fittings. The 45 elbows were 30 times more than the 90 fittings, but the pipes were stamped with Made in USA. Well, there's something. I wonder where they get the material to make them. There's a lot of stuff you can do with PVC. It's amazing. People come up with. Anyway, nobody seems to be into this tonight.
There is a lot of things you can do with PVC. A guy that used to live across the street made mini marshmallow like machine guns. It was pretty strange.
Really?
Yeah. It worked. It had a CO2 cartridge on it and everything. There's about 5 pieces of PVC. They were like, half inch, the same size as a mini marshmallow. It was bizarre. It really worked. It was weird. I gave my kids one each. And I was like, did you fucking invent this yourself? Like, yeah. Like, you should be making a fucking fortune.
Yeah. Polish cannon made from PVC, 3-inch PVC can be a lot of fun. Does it fire backwards? I don't know. Douglas Stevens is here.
And everything.
Did I miss anything? No, you didn't miss anything, Douglas. You could miss this show for 6 months. We're still talking about the same stupid shit like it was yesterday. It's like a soap opera. We made potato guns way back in the day. I
Yeah.
prefer to eat my potatoes and not shoot them out of a pipe, but then that's just me.
Well, I was watching something fairly weird today in the paranormal realm. Have you heard of the Dawdleston messages? It was out of England in 1985 or 6 or something. It's a very bizarre
I have
story.
not.
Yeah,
I have not heard of that.
very interesting. Dawdleston messages. It was crazy, very crazy. That was back in the early days of when there were only the beginnings of home computers. You know,
Hmm.
middle '80s, and
Yeah.
one guy was a school teacher. He got one at the school, and he wanted to take it home to get acquainted with it and everything. And he started getting a message from somebody supposedly that lived in the 16th century on the computer. And
Yeah. Okay. That
what?
didn't happen.
You don't think so?
He's lying. No. No, I don't.
Really?
No.
Well,
That's
he
all I
claimed
needed to
that
hear.
where his house was on the same space that he used to live.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like the girl who's riding a boat down the river and sees some guy and then realizes he's full of hair and she just floats by and waves and the Bigfoot waves back. Yeah, I
But
don't believe that either.
this is more detailed. There's a lot more to it. Then it came
Yeah.
on. They started getting messages from somebody that lived in 2109
Okay.
that had gone back to the 16th century and left the computer for this person in the 16th century.
Ah, well, that explains it.
Yeah, it had it all set up for him where it had like a
Nick says
voice
his house.
dictate on it and everything. It is
Let's see. Nick
intriguing.
says his house is also in the same space where he lives. So, and he has a computer and probably can do the same thing. Stephen Tolliver says his potato gun used ball bearings. I knew a guy made a Uzi looking pistol out of plastic. He fabricated the whole thing and it ran off an 18-volt drill battery and would fire BBs, and it worked really well. It would hold like 200 BBs, and in like a tube, and worked well. You got hit by one, I imagine it would have hurt. Anyway, so Matt has been telling us how some guy in the 80s got messages on his computer from the 1600s because some other guy from the 2100s went
Yep.
back to the 1600s to give him a computer so he could text this guy um, who now
Himself.
lives where his house used to be, right on the same spot. That sounds
Somewhat.
believable to me. Yeah, that sounds
It
believable.
had a whole paranormal investigation. They brought people in to look at the computer, um, had the guy and the people that live in the house took him away, and then like messaged whoever the hell was where these people wouldn't have known what the hell they were doing, and they got responses and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
they were
My
they
guess,
debunked the hoax that they were doing it all by themselves or whatnot. and it's intriguing. I have to tell you.
No, it's not.
Oh, the guy
It's
from
some
the
computer geek.
1500s. He actually gave his
No.
name, a lot of history of
Yeah.
himself, and they
Yeah.
could look it up and
Uh.
verify it and blah blah blah.
Oh
And
my
he
God.
found
Enough. Stop. It's a lie. Okay. Some computer geek guy back in the 80s decided to fuck with someone. That's all that is. And he was laughing his ass off while people tried to think that this guy was talking back in time and forward in time. It doesn't happen.
didn't happen to you.
No, it doesn't happen to anyone. Dear God. You know, just because it's paranormal doesn't mean you got to believe every single bit of it. Why people would spend time researching this is beyond me. You must be bored. You need a fucking hobby, man. You do. You need a hobby. Something.
Can paranormal shit be a hobby? I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. Not unless you got a small office, it's covered with paper or newspaper clippings, and you're actually doing research on it and not listening to somebody else.
That'd take too much
Take care,
effort.
Stephen. Hope everything's okay. All right. Well, you believe whatever you like. That's fine. Uh, I actually am not going to believe that one.
They had English accents. It's got to be true. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because no one else
And
has English accents in the 20th century.
there you have it.
Them damn Englanders. Look at them screwing with Matt's fucking head over here. Of course, doesn't take much, but you know.
Then the woman that was living in the house where the messages were coming, she was like getting curious, and she pulled out a map and she did some geometric lines on the map that ran through the property, that ran through all kinds of straight lines, north, south, east, west, through all kinds of Grimnick uh, artifacts. Like, you know, there's lots of henges, not just Stonehenge. There's other henges, such fort and everything, and it was like a confluence of mating lines and everything. You know.
Did all those lines like point back to the idiot that she is? Just asking.
Well,
Speaking
no,
of, I think she was unhinged. She was the broken hinge in
no,
the bunch.
the woman was a skeptic that was living there with the guy that was getting these messages, and she was like trying to debunk it. But then after they started having paranormal activity in the house. Like pots and pans would be stacked up on the counters, like
She
taken
needs to
out of
learn to wash the
the
fucking
cabinet
dishes
and
then.
everything. And she came in one time, and all their living room furniture was stacked up on each other. Like the couch and chairs and shit were stacked up to the ceiling. And she was only gone for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and nobody else was in there, and it became a whole debunkle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Came a whole
Listen,
debunkle.
Matt.
I debunked that. The whole story's a debunkle.
I've been around you a long time, so I know even you don't believe this crap.
Well, I can't say I believe it until I had seen it, but yeah, for myself. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
far fetched, but
Yeah.
if you had
Making up
seen
new
that
words
with
doesn't
your
help
own
this
two eyes, what would you think? You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, if I saw it with my own 2 eyes, but I didn't, and I don't think they did either. And making up new words does not help this story.
It makes it interesting, I think.
No, it don't. Lies, and bullshit are never interesting. They're not. No.
I heard it with my one good ear, but it doesn't make it
Well,
true
I mean,
or interesting.
if you're if you
Oh, I
can
am giving
tell a
you the
good
kicker.
story, that I guess that makes it interesting, but it doesn't mean the story is true.
Well, I haven't given you the kicker yet.
Oh, here we go. Jesus
Oh, it
Christ
gets
came
better.
down and started singing, Jesus Christ, superstar. Who in the hell do you think you are?
Don't blaspheme,
Right?
Jerry. Okay?
Right here, I come
Oh,
to save the
Lord.
day.
No, no,
Wait,
that was underdog.
Right. I
Um,
believe in him too.
close enough.
the kicker
Yeah.
was that the guy
He was,
from the 1500s said he was going to write a book and chronicle his adventure with contacting the future. And he said, I have written a book which one day I hope some of you will find, which will prove this encounter took place. But it hasn't been found yet. The book is supposed to be set.
ah,
See, did he write that in the book? Was like that the forward in the book? I hope somebody finds this book
But yeah,
and
he
somebody
said,
knows
I'm
about
going
it
to
but
leave a
never found the
record
book.
so this will prove it will prove it of me writing this at this time. It will be found in the future and will prove that I talked to Ben and Pete and Debbie, whatever the fuck their names were.
But wait a
well,
minute.
if,
Somebody found the note
wait,
that he wrote a book and he didn't put
No,
the
no,
book
that
with
was
the
his
fucking
last
note to get
message
found
to
too?
them that he was going to write the book about the whole thing.
Oh, that's just hearsay.
Alan McMillan says it's an audio book from the 15th century.
Right? It's on
Well, Matt, I
it's
got to
on
tell you,
stone.
that's not much of a kicker if they haven't found the book yet. So,
Well, you wouldn't even believe it if they did.
You're correct with
I
that
have
statement.
to tell you, yeah, more than likely. I got to be honest. This seems very, very far fetched. There are some things that are unexplainable. And those I'm on 50-50 because, they're not explained. And there are things out there that are so-called explained, like say Roswell, for instance, but you know, first of all, it's the government telling you this after the guy from the government said it was real and blah blah. There's a lot of different things. So, you can say, well, maybe, okay. This story is a definite no. Absolutely hell no to the 100th power, whatever the hell that is. Where the hell is Dave? He could straighten this all out. Dave's not here.
Well, there was a lot of um, they had the they took like his messages because they were written in English that was
Greek?
they didn't speak like we did. They did some of it was almost cryptic. They couldn't understand, but they took it to like scholars that could actually translate the lingo of the 16th century. They're like, what does this paragraph mean? We weird words that nobody that no, they wouldn't know how they would speak back then, and they're like they could translate it. All these like professors and shit were like, yes, this is common language in the 16th century. You know that it doesn't sound like
So
English almost, but you know.
no one in this century would understand it except professors, which means that there's a professor out there that could have known a lot about computers. It was still very new, and a lot of people to this day are very interested in that sort of thing. And he also could have known 1600s language.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a
Yeah,
my guess,
professor of artistry.
there
Bullshit
was a lot of
artistry.
like,
yeah.
me thinkest this gleaming apparatus is not of the world of man, and I doesn't understandeth all of the you know mechanisms of this working orb. Weird things like that nobody would like actually try to fake.
Well, here's my question. If he had a computer in the 15th century, who did he get his internet through to send such a message? Because
Right.
was it like Comcast or something? I mean, did he have a wired connection or a telephone or some bones hanging outside, again, whippling in the wind like an antenna? I don't know.
No, he had
Um,
coughs and he bitched
my
about it all
thought
the
is,
time, man.
this is what I'm thinking. Either this story is bullshit, or you're making this up as you go, and it's still bullshit.
I agree.
Yeah, AOL. Yeah, America Online with the phone cord and that noise that used to drive everybody nuts. Mayan Digital.
Oh, me thinkest thus personages make jest of my tale.
Yeah, God modicum.
Yes, Matt. Yes, we do. Matter of fact, we think it's batshit stupid, but
Forsooth, I
batshit
am
is
verily
stupidous.
offendedest of your opinion, but
Well,
thou
that's
is
fine.
entitlest to it.
I appreciate that. Uh,
At
maybe
least you
we should
realize it's
believe him till
bullshit.
we can prove he is wrong. Well, my thought is I just did because I'm almost positive you can have every computer in the world, but unless this guy started an internet company from the 21st century and went back to the 16th century and ran all the wires and put the satellite in the sky and satellite on the ground to connect with the satellite in the sky. My guess is that there was no internet in the 1600s to be sending messages to the 1980s.
No, Jerry, the guy from 2109 left it with him.
Oh,
Yeah. Did he leave him an
what?
internet service
Maybe
with a
there's some
satellite
kind
in
of
the sky?
chip projector in the thing. I don't know.
Oh
I
my
would
God,
care.
with the chip projector.
The guy
Please,
from
just shoot me, will you?
2021 can't figure out how the fuck to make satellite internet work right. How did this dude come up with the
No,
right shit?
2109.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying the guy from 2021, which we're, like supposedly at the height of the digital age, they can't figure out how to fucking make the satellite internet work correctly. I mean, it
Maybe
still
it was
sucks.
wireless. Max says maybe it was wireless.
You think? He had a few wires less,
Uh,
a few wires short.
yeah. I think you've killed some brain cells for me there, Matt, with this story. I do.
It's intriguing. You have to admit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not intriguing at all.
The
It's,
Dawdleston Messages is the name of the
yeah,
quandary.
okay. I will not be looking that up at all.
You know you will. You know you will.
No, no, I won't. Without internet, you can't send fucking an email down the street, much less forward 5 centuries something.
Hey, you believe in the moon landings? What the fuck?
I
Well, yeah, that just
saw them on TV.
takes, a few days or weeks or whatever the hell it takes to get there. It doesn't take centuries.
Yeah. Plus, Matt throws a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's true, Larry Burns. That's true. We've missed you, Mayor Larry Burns, tonight. We could have used you for this one.
You know what? You give me about a half an hour warm up. I bet I could get over 90, and I'm 62 fucking years old.
I bet you couldn't. I bet if you got to 60, your arm would go flying off with the ball in hand down the street, probably hit your kid in the face.
I'm gonna have to try to verify this. Let me think about it for a while.
Yeah, in 28 and a half years,
Yeah.
you'll get over 90.
I'm gonna have to think about this. How can I verify? Let's think. They still sell them. They used to sell these baseballs that had like a speed thing inside of them. Remember that? It was like, I don't know if they're accurate.
I doubt it.
I'd have to go to, they got them like fun game things at like major league parks where you can, throw the ball and they'll tell you how fast you throw it and shit. I don't know if I want to go to all that effort.
Yeah, it's called a radar.
Yeah.
They kind of do that kind of shit. They don't send cryptic messages either. Just give you a fucking
radar
speed.
gun app on your phone. They probably have one by now.
Listen,
if you threw it past the
you would probably
camera,
blow out your fucking knee pitching. You would blow out your knee pitching.
Be worth it. Well, I've had to prove my swarthiness before. Yeah.
Did it ever work?
Yeah.
I need proof, just like this doppelganger theory or whatever the shit you got going on here.
Well, doppelganger is a whole different dog.
Well, it all sounds boondoggle theory or whatever the shit you just told us about.
Stephen Lang has a question. How come a lot of Americans think the moon landing was fake? Because we have our very own share of morons over here.
Because it was so primitive technology, they were using IBM cards, and they can't reproduce it. They can't reproduce it now.
Well,
and some
nothing
people
is primitive in the 15th century.
Yeah, and some people like Matt, Stephen, spend way too much time on YouTube listening to people who are morons. That's why.
Well, who's the moron?
Well,
me or the people that put it out?
You for watching it and believing it.
I'm like Rod Serling. I didn't say believe it. And what was his opening line? For your, he never said believe it. He said for your inspection or whatever.
No. You have come out and said the moon landing has never happened. You've said it many times, and that's
so did
that.
Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin said it never happened too, and he was supposedly there.
Yeah, so, Buzz Aldrin was an asshole. He Buzz Aldrin was just fucking with everybody, is what Buzz Aldrin was doing, and now everybody holds that up as proof.
Hey, Buzz
There are
punched
people
out a
that think the
report when
Earth
he
is
was 8
flat
years
too.
old.
Yes, those people need to be punched in the face, Alan. If you know any of them, just walk up, punch them in the face. It's perfectly legal. Okay, maybe it might rearrange some shit up in their head to where they don't think that the Earth is flat anymore.
Yeah, they used to believe that was proven
Morons.
science too. Flat Earth, all
Yeah,
kind of other bullet points that they claimed
yeah,
was science
yep,
is no longer science.
yep. Like there
But
was
we still
such
have to
thing as
believe in
witches.
science. Yeah.
There was such thing as
Well,
witches.
that one I have to believe. I married one. But I digress. If
It's not
there's ever a
exactly the
witch.
same thing I was talking. No, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the ones they burned at the stake.
Well, this one should have fell in line with that as well. But anyway.
Well, I don't know.
Yes, it's all a matter of perspective. You have to have like a
Because it's an internet stupid conspiracy theory, Stephen, that the NASA does not give a fuck about. That's why. They know they were to the moon. They know where they're at. They apparently got a truck on Mars that they can't control. Although I don't know why that would. I mean, I can't buy a fucking remote control vehicle for my house, and I can't get it to work 10 foot from the thing, and they're 20 billion miles away, and wondering why the fucking Mars lander won't work. But you know,
oh yeah, all their data that they had on all their IBM punch cards was destroyed, so it can't be replicated. Blah, blah. Why? Oh, the tapes were re-recorded of all the telemetry. Why in the fuck would they do that? Because it never existed. Never existed.
okay, all right. I've had enough of the conspiracy theories for one night. It's almost as bad as the politics.
It's more entertaining. Everybody look up the Donaldson messages.
It's just as
Hey,
full of shit.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
full of shit and entertaining are two different things, Matt.
Well, I like to think he could be both.
Daryl Rector said he finally got his electric fixed and finally got a shower. Well, we appreciate the second part, and we're
Right.
happy about the first. How about that?
Right. No more horse baths in cold water.
Yeah. Well, we're not really going anywhere fast, so I think we're going to shut it down for tonight. We'll be back Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll be able to hear Matt in all his glory about Huddle House theory and with the phone calls from the fucking 15th century, because God knows I wouldn't want to miss a riveting word of that. And, whatever. So, you two got any last things you'd like to say?
I'll call bullshit on that whole story.
I do too. I'm with you.
Huh. Way to keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's open.
I
It's open and shut
I
case.
have quite an open mind. I have quite an open mind, but I also know what bullshit smells like. I know what it sounds like, and that's it. if you don't have internet, you can't be sending messages on a 2021 computer to a 1980 computer. They probably wouldn't even receive them. They were so. I mean, I don't know what a 2100 computer is going to be like, but I know what a 1980s computer was like, and it wasn't much. So, anyway, y'all have good night. We'll see you Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Same bat time, same bat station. Take care.
Bonsoir.